Hi everybody, it's Cindy with Love to Scrap for Fun. Here to show you a flip through on a junk journal that I'm going to be putting in my Etsy shop. And this one I have done, the theme is Alice in Wonderland. And it is 6 by 8 with a 2.5-inch spine. And I created the cover with thick cardboard, and then I added strips of cardboard to give a wood look and painted it, and then Mod Podged it over the top. Put a Tim Holtz Courier knob for the closure with the hair tie. I layered a lot of paper flowers, Tim Holtz clock. This is a back of an earring that I cut off the post and layered it onto the flowers. There's a metal crown that was a pendant that was in my stash, and this is the back. This is an earring where I cut off the back post and adhered it right there. And there's a little pendant of the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. And I fussy cut some images, cups and a teapot, checkered, and then I painted a crackle dimensional covering over it. And there is a Tim Holtz key, and it says heart, and there's a bunch of fabric and some lace layered on there. And the back of it is just all done with the done plain, so it kind of looks like a tree. It kind of blends with the tree in the background, and I like the lace because it's kind of like Alice's dress in there, and I think I put it together pretty good. This is actually the second one I've done. The first one I took it to a weekend crop and somebody bought it from me, so I did another one. So it takes me a couple months to do these because I work full-time Monday through Friday, and so I diddle daddle with them in the evenings and on the weekends. Today I have the whole day to myself, so taking the opportunity to do a video, put some pictures together, put it in my Etsy shop, all that good jazz. So the inside is has cardstock on the inside covers, and there's some fussy cut images of Alice in Wonderland. And this collection I had got off of Paper Phenomenon, Kathy Orta on her website. I've been following her for about 12 years. And she has now digital images. And these didn't really, they print out 12 by 12, but of course my printer only prints out on 8.5 by 11 papers. So I kind of had to fold them. They came out on 8.5 by 11, but I had to fold them so they're shorter on one side than the other side. But they have lovely, lovely images, and I copied them on some parchment paper, stationery paper, so it has a really nice texture to it. And this is a altered paperclip I did. It's got a clock charm, some beads, and there's the rabbit there. And this is a envelope with a tag. And some more fussy cut images. Some tags. Journal card. I printed these out on the stationery, or the resume paper, parchment paper type stuff, and I backed it on manila folder, some leftover manila folders that are in my stash. They're really great for using them for journal cards and tags. That's what I did with this. My printer doesn't like to print on thick papers, so I have to print them on kind of thinner papers first before I adhere them onto thicker tag type papers. And here is another one. And there's a coffee dyed receipt, some tickets. And her kit has some cutouts for edges for your paper or whatever, any kind of embellishment you want to use them as. And this is some rose copy paper that I distressed the edges with Tim Holtz ink and added some lined papers. So my journals, you'll see that they're very functional. There's lots of room for journaling because not every page is decorated, so there's lots of room for different journaling pages. And this is dyed with food coloring. And here's another one of the beautiful images of the collection. And the other side is the grunge look. And this is part of the paper. Some journaling paper and beautiful images. And I love the grunge in her kit. You can print out the grunge side. And this is coffee dyed thicker paper with some fussy cut images. And this is an envelope, a Miller envelope that I sewed into this signature. This, by the way, this does have 3 signatures. And I haven't counted the pages yet, but it's a lot. There's a lot of pages. And there's a coin envelope with a tag. Hope I'm staying in camera there. Holy cow. Okay. And I did a little notepad with some papers and added some beads on the thread that I used to sew it with. And here is the journal card, Alice in Wonderland, Alice herself. This is the middle of this first journal, and I added hearts to the signature threads. And it comes with a lot of sayings, quotes from Alice in Wonderland themed. Another coin envelope with a journal card inside. The Cheshire Cat, that's his quote. And a little tuck here, some tag and a little embellishment. And this is a black and white one that I printed off from images I found elsewhere. You'll see some black and white ones that are the original drawings of the original illustrator. And this is, I included this little booklet, and here's one of the black and white images of Alice and the little rabbit as she's growing larger inside this tunnel. And there's another one of the queen, and there's a king. And this is about the book Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and it tells you the author, Lewis Carroll, and what the original title was, when the original there's a little spot to journal there. If you're giving this as a gift, you can write a little note in there for that person. And anyway, it's got all kinds of how the story began and what the original books looked like, and how they published it, and just all the additions, the additional additions. There's a lot of information here on the history of Alice in Wonderland. So I thought that would be make the book really special. And that goes right in this fun little pocket. Here's a little tuck. Got a little journal card and a little mini envelope with some paper in it. And this is the other side of one of the other papers. We're into this, we're still in the first signature. And the beautiful colors on these images, those teacups. I love that color of blue. It's like aquamarine type blue. And this is beautiful black paper from the grunge paper in her collection. It has roses around the edge and there's some writing on it. And there's the hair. Journalings. Papers, lots of them. Graph paper, some blue paper. There's a envelope, and in the side of there's the coffee dyed statement paper, and there's just a some cardstock with musical notes that are gold embossed with a saying that says "Proceed as success is inevitable," as if. I can hardly read it. Must be my glasses. And there's also some images from the collection that I fussy cut out and distressed the edges and glued them on there. And here's some journal cards from the black and white images that I got out on the internet somewhere and printed them off. There's a quote from Alice in Wonderland. Here's some tags to stick inside this little tuck here. And I fussy cut and glued this onto this cardstock. I also, this is the kind of cardstock that I got at Joann's years ago that you can distress the edges, and the core is the same color of this beige. And so I put sandpaper over the top of it, over the top of some texture plates that I had. There's some more of the images on this paper. Beautiful papers. And this is some cardstock that I had in my stash that went very well with this junk journal. There's some parchment paper, resume paper. It's kind of a light sage color. Lined papers. And this is from a book. I thought it looked like Alice in Wonderland and her adventure. And by a tree and in the gardens, and these are pretty papers. And here I made a vellum pocket and added some journal cards, and I did some machine stitching throughout, little here and there, and added trim on the bottom of this. And the other side has the vellum pocket, the tag. And there's the Mad Hatter and the cat in the tree, one of the original Alice in Wonderland images. And this is a paper clip that I made with beads and a charm at the bottom. This is a cute belly band. And inside here is a little mini folder with some papers to write on. Goes right in there and tucks right behind there. And this is coffee dyed cardstock. and more lined paper and dyed paper. And this is the middle of the second signature with the hearts on the signature ties. And I glued some, fussy cut some images from the collection on the edge of the papers. Added some blue paper, some grunge paper with the beautiful image on the other side. Here's the other side of that book page. Give it some interest. It's got a little bit of glue right there. And this is another altered paperclip with a star charm on the bottom. This has little pockets on the inside of this flip out, and there's a little quote, a little tag, and some tickets. There's a little pocket here with an index, avocado dyed index card with a butterfly image, and I sewed a tab on top. Machine stitched it. And this is a index card with the heart tabs, and it says wonderful. Now if I can get it back in there. Okay, paperclip back on there. And then we got another little tuck here with the journal card. It says we're all mad here. A coin envelope with the tag inside. And then I fussy cut these out and glued them on the side. There's the rose paper and images from the collection. And here is some hearts that fold out accordion style with some fussy cut images on them. And here's a little side pocket that I made with one of the images from the collection. I think that's from the collection, yeah. And with a little file folder and some journal cards. You could write on the back or use them as bookmarks. And this is the cardstock. And there's the other half of that images. It's really cute. And the last signature page, grunge paper, and I glued some paper lace to the side. And this is some graphic 45 double-sided cardstock. It worked really well with this journal. I also put it in the first journal that I made. Here's a little pocket that I added a little fence and some fussy cut images, machine stitched it around. Added a little mini envelope with a little card inside. And there is a bingo card accent. And here's a little envelope, big coin envelope type thing with the journal card. I added a heart tab to it. And I did some stenciling on this paper, doily, with some images on it. And here is a piece of vellum that I stamped, a heart image, heart stamps on there for interest. More pages. Grunge paper, and the other side of the other one. A couple of journal pages, lined paper, and beautiful images on here. A little tuck using some big ribbon that had hearts on it. Made a tag quote on it from Alice in Wonderland, and then a little journal card, and another tag, Alice and the Queen. Weird looking queen. Very different than the Walt Disney version, definitely. Here's another little pocket with a journal card and coin envelope from the collection. This is the middle of the last signature page. And that beautiful image. Alice, and there's a frog and it says Queen Alice. A little pocket with a journal card with a caption on it. Journal pages, cards, copy dyed cardstock. There's Alice. There's a couple of lined papers. And the beautiful paper from the collection. And here's the other side of the vellum page with a rose that I stamped on there. And I'll tell you, you use Stays On ink, and it's sticky for some reason. The ink pad's always sticky, and it doesn't seem like it comes off very easy. So I'm going to quit using my Stays On black ink because I don't like it. I'm going to use the other black ink from now on that I have, the ink pads. Here's the upper tuck with the journal card and index card that had been dyed with avocados, and another saying from Alice in Wonderland. And I fussy cut all those images on this and all of these here. And that's the last page. Then you got the other side to the other one. And I didn't put any pockets. I usually like to put something, pockets or something on the inside of these covers, but it ended up so thick that I just think it would have, I think it's great the way it is. And plus I love this paper too. It has like a wallpaper finish on it. It's really cool. And there you go. There is the Alice in Wonderland junk journal. I hope you enjoyed this. And don't ever forget that you can always fast forward the playback on these YouTube videos. I do that a lot too, so I could get through them faster. But I try not to make the videos too long. Have a good day, and hope spring comes real quick. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.